I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
America has escaped the devastation of war.
And to the republic for which it stands.
But if America came under fire, would we be prepared to defend our freedom?
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
George Jones examines our country's military training in America, Are We Ready? On News 8 Nightbeat.
For 131 years, this great institution has amassed what many consider to be the finest collection of art anywhere in the world. And now, it can all be yours. We've lost our lease. That's right, everything must go. From the old masters of Europe to the conceptual artists of today's Soho. We're talking Rembrandts, Botticellis, Gauguin, Cézanne, Matisse, Renoir, and the chairman of the board, Leonardo da Vinci. This Egyptian sarcophagus from the dynasty of Ramses II, appraised at $14 million, our price, $19.95. Buy now and we'll toss in free of charge the original Declaration of Independence. Now you might expect to pay millions for this document that shaped a great nation, but it's yours free. This fine parchment will enhance any den or playroom, and you can have some fun with your friends by adding your own name along with the original signers. Remember, the Cosmopolitan Museum of Art. Every Van Gogh must go.
Such as, say, a conspiracy theorist or somebody who just picked a map up and threw some new lines in. This document was in the Detroit Free Press this last fall. It depicts the proposed borderlines for America. Now I'm going to ask you something once you take a close look at this. You'll notice they gave it some warm, fuzzy names, and they made it seem real fluffy, and oh, we'll just change the borders a little. But this is very important when you consider control of population groups. I might remind you of something about this article if you read it. If you didn't, I'll point it out. That originally, this document was done by a State Department official. This was designed to test the water, to make everybody, see how they'd feel about this warm, fuzzy attitude about throwing.
School has changed. The kids, the clothes, the wheels, the music, the gym classes, the dating scene. Teachers have changed too.
In 1933, Hitler said that when he controlled the education of the children, he could calmly say to any opponent, "Your child belongs to us already. What are you?" In 1936, he abolished Christian schools in Germany. For refusing to turn over control of a church school to the state, a Nebraska pastor was arrested on September 3rd, 1982.
Well, when the sheriff arrested me for the first time, I was shocked. It was unbelievable to think that law officers would come into the church and actually take people who are not committing crimes.
Reverend Sylvan in? Not 20.
Well, if you tell me what you're here for, I'll be glad to go with you. Am I under arrest?
You are under arrest. I have a warrant for your arrest.
All right, Sheriff. Let me say this, Sheriff, tonight, kids, we're not mad at the sheriff. He's just doing what he's told to do. And so I don't want you to be mad at him, okay? All right. All right. Come out. Can we go out this way?
Okay.
All right.
This man is being arrested for running a church school where the students have consistently scored higher on statewide achievement tests than children attending local public schools.
When I found out that the pastor had gone to jail, I felt kind of angry because he was trying to teach us how to do right, and he went to jail for that.
America, how could it be? Oh, my God! My God!
Glad I don't draw you men's paychecks.
Oh, God! Do you men have a conscience? Do you men realize what you're doing under God, under heaven? God save America! Oh, my God, my God!
Judge Case is a lawbreaker.
That's right.
He has trampled upon the Constitution of the United States and upon the Constitution of this state of Nebraska. That's
right. The word of God.
1 month after jailing the pastor, Sheriff Tetch returned to empty and padlock the church by force because members refused to compromise their religious and constitutional rights.
This order directs me to secure this building with locks, so as to prevent holding school in the building without following the state law requiring a certified teacher. But at this time, I and members of the Nebraska State Patrol will escort you from this building so we can comply with this order signed by the judge. I put them back and close one door. You want to go?
Well, the judge has always been against us, and he's not one time been here. He's always sending the sheriff down here or something like that. And I'd wish if he was really going to condemn us like that he'd come down here and see what's happening. And then I wish he'd go to the public schools and see what's happening. This will be the first year, God willing, that we'll be able to have a full year of school.
We were all interned, 120,000 of us, in internment camps throughout the United States. We were uprooted from our families and neighborhoods. I was born and raised in Sacramento. I was 6 months old at the time, and obviously I wasn't given a trial nor any charges were imposed against me, but for the next 2.5 years, I, my mother, father, and sister were interned in barbed wired camps in the United States of America.
Lieutenant General J.L. DeWitt issued the order to relocate the Japanese, as nearly 100,000 persons were uprooted and forced into camps far from home, some for years. DeWitt warned the American public to, quote, worry about the Japanese all the time until he is wiped off the map, end quote. The only charge against these people, potential disloyalty, against which no law exists. Throughout the entire period of confinement, not one resident Japanese American was ever convicted of sabotage or espionage, although many white persons were. Fear, ignorance, and intolerance are still as powerful now as they were then. Could large religious groups, disloyal to officially sanctioned forms of religious worship, be the next to reside in concentration camps? Shocking parallels between America 1984 and pre-Nazi Germany indicate that the barbed wire may already be in place.
I had to oppose the attempt to foster non-religion on people. I mean, how do you expect, in my opinion, how do you expect any mayor to not announce or acknowledge a holiday in a truthful fashion? The ACLU is fond of having a great many cases in the censorship area. But now they expect me to censor Christmas, Christ Mass, 1984, a long tradition in this country. Suddenly I am to remove an element of that display. No way. And that's basically what the Supreme Court said.